If horror films and rom-coms have one thing in common, it's that I'm always cheering for the bad guy. This is my top 10 villains of horror films. Two things to note about this list. Big bad monsters will be on a different list, and I've already disqualified Patrick Bateman for being such a goddamn hero. This dude is an honorable mention because Michael Myers is the honorable mention of honorable mentions. For God's sakes, he invented walking around with no motive. Good for him. Holy monkey moly, is she frightening. This character is said to be the basis of every Stan Winston creation. Her skin looks like pot blisters on an alien victim. She looks like week old meat from Mrs. Lovett's pies. Her nose flops more than LeBron James. Freddy Krueger called. He wants Max von Sydow has been capturing the hearts of moviegoers ever since he was murdered by a cross-f***ing little girl. Well, he continues his war on Christmas by playing Leland Gaunt, a local store owner who offers hot bargains as long as you murder his neighbors. He's calm, he's collected, he's the man with the plan. A plan to save you $5 if you shoot that prattling Jerry at church tomorrow. As a fan of 80s horror films and wicked construction site accidents, Pinhead really nailed this little niche. His voice is a combination of Scar and Mufasa, while his demeanor is like a leather daddy of the Inquisition. Though I think the original Hellraiser really nailed the 80s horror feel, I'd like to see a new screenwriter hammer out a fresh script. But that's because this film looked out of date by day one of filming. Pinhead also gets props because him and his quiet posse kept showing up to the sets of the abominable sequels. I can't imagine how hammered that crew must have been. I almost disqualified this character because, like Patrick Bateman, one could argue she's the savior of art. But then she poured gasoline all over her son, and I immediately included her. This character steals your heart before eating it with a side of attempted murder. Yeah, I'd call that a villain. Though she is undeniably batshit crazy, you totally understand why her son needs to burn in hell for what Grandma did. Or at least burn for the snub the Oscars gave Toni Collette. She was really the best part of any film from 2018. The truly creepy thing about the alien is that it's not even evil. It's simply an acid-based gecko that wants its babies to try on your skin. This thing penetrates, annihilates, and confiscates your skeleton because of science. There is nothing scarier than that. I've never been a supporter of fact-based villains, but I'll let Mr. Acidic D***head win this one. Your move, Mr. ADH. There is no Jason, Jigsaw, Leatherface, or Candyman on this list because they be none of those hacks can compare to Freddy with his one-liners, which were clearly winged. Let's talk about his look. He's a Mr. Rogers-looking motherfucker who never leaves a neighborhood of make-believe. One glove never looks so good in a burn victim's hand. 90% sure I'm going to bleep out that entire description. I clearly have a fascination with how low one-liners can go, and Freddy always drops the bar. I respect that. Evil Dead 2 is what happens when an aspiring film auteur moves past his tree phase and into grander themes, such as chainsaws. This hand is the pivotal character in the captivating scenes of conflict when Ash punches himself in the face. Some people dare to dream. This hand punches those dreams. Though Bill Skarsgård could never match Tim Curry's Frankenfurter, he absolutely curb-stomped the old man's Pennywise. Is that too graphic? No, it isn't. We're talking about clowns. You know, those demons that think makeup covers up their abductions? Pennywise is just evil in a onesie with a face that says he's barely keeping it together. The power of this clown stretches beyond the film. Because of him, red balloons are considered threatening and no one just crawls into a sewer anymore. Unlike the 90s. That is the power of Pennywise. There are 3 good Predator movies and 3 dripping pieces of shit. Doesn't matter which one we're talking about because this bestial anti-gun nut makes any fecal tower look awesome. Few characters are so badass that they steal spines, and even fewer of them keep them in their tree forts. This ugly motherfucker has a 100% win rate because losing to Arnold is technically a God-given gift. The claws, the dreads, and that pew-pew shoulder gun make him my favorite hypocritical alien. Talking about Chucky is like giving the best man speech at a wedding. I'm only going to say nice things despite the fact that this dude really f***ed me up. Chucky was my hero and my nightmare. The Audet Dewey to my Dembella. He is so scary that the trailer for Child's Play 2 gave me more nightmares than those commercials with the demon hamsters that stuff bodies in the back of Kias. You know what I'm talking about. Chucky's combo of jerky movements, screaming cuss-filled fits, and soulless freckles make him my #1 now and forever. Did he just look at me?